Today I will teach you about the three data types that store in data. So the three ones I'll teach you will be list, tuple, and dictionary. So with list is they're when they're made, they're ordered and they can be changed and they allow to have duplicate values. To have duplicate values. So to create one, once again, name in a variable, so I'll just call it list for now, and equal sign. Then you create a list by having a square bracket, and then you can either once again add single quotation or double quotation. So this time I'll be using double quotation for each item or element we have inside our list. So I'll create a list for food. So I'll have pizza. Make sure you add a comma after every single new element you want to add. Hot dog, um, chips, chips, and I'll add and another pizza. Okay, so that's basically how you create a list. So I will have to teach you about three list methods that can be very helpful for adding or deleting something inside a list after you've created it and you've made a long lines of code, but then you have to come back to it. So instead of like going scrolling all the way back up, you can do um so make sure you name your variable list. Make sure you add a dot or a period, and you do append. And in the then you add the round brackets, and inside those round brackets you want to add in another value. So let's put in the value of beef. So then when you're going to print it again, print list, it'll show you that beef has been added. Okay, let me show you it without it first. There we go. You can see that beef has not been added, but then when I append, it'll have beef. Another one is a specific type of like adding into the list. So I'll first tell you that how a list is counted. So it's counted as it starts as 0, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't start as 1, 2, 3, 4. It has a specific way of being counted. So this first element or item is called 0. This one is number 1. This is number 2. And this is number 3. So with that, I do list dot insert and I add in 1. So it'll take the spot of a hot dog. It's not gonna remove it, but it's gonna be placed before hot dog. So add a comma. Let's add in, let's say, chicken. And if you print in list, there we have pizza, chicken, hot dog, chips, chicken, pizza. Same again. If I add it in the 3 spot, it'll be there instead. Now for the opposite, um, for deleting, we do list dot remove, and then for remove, it's a bit of a weird one. You you'll have to input the item that you want to remove. So let's say pizza, because I have 2 pizzas and I want to remove one of them. With remove though, it'll only remove the element, the first occurring element. So if I have like, let's say I have another pizza here and another pizza there, it'll only remove the first pizza. So if I were to uh print that out, It'll only remove the first pizza. It won't remove the all of the pizzas. And if you want to remove a specific one, like with insert, we can do um, list dot pop. So again, choose an index, 1 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do um 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean 4, yeah. So let's put in 4, comma, and yeah, I think it should just be that. There we go. Now there's only 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. We removed um the fourth item. The same you can do with the other ones. So we can do 1, so it should remove hot dog. There we go. And one thing you can also do is if you want to know how many things are inside your list, so in here you can add print round bracket len, another round bracket, and another bracket, but this is for closing. So if we were to print that, it'll tell us that there are 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure you don't get the counting wrong for counting inside the list. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But how many items are in the list? There are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another thing with list is it's not limited to just words. It's also you can also add, say, let's get another list. You can also have numbers in it as well. So 12, 24, 7, 89. And along with that, you can also have booleans in there as well. So you can have true, false, false, true. So if I were to print in list 2, it'll print out that it is a list. And list 3, true, false, false, true. Yeah. The same thing again, we can also use um, type to know what type of if what type of data storing data list type. So this is a list, so it should type out list for all of these things. So class list, if I did class list 2, it's still a list, and the first one we did is also a list. Okay, let's move on to tuples. So with tuples, they're also ordered. So they're also made in order, so like with this thing, with list. So are ordered. But the only difference is that they they are immutable. So basically meaning unchangeable. And they also allow they also they can also have duplicate values. Let's start off. Let's create again a variable. Just call this one tuple 1 equals to. So to create a tuple, you must use the round brackets. Then once again, either use a single quotation or double quotation. So I'll stick with using double quotations here. So let's create a tuple. Once again, for anything, let's say car brands, Audi, uh, BMW, uh, Honda. Let's go with Toyota. So the weird part about tuples is since they're immutable, unchangeable, so meaning you can't change them, right? Is what you'd think, but there is a weird way around it. So by doing that is we actually use typecasting like we did last time. So here, let's create another value, a variable of it, equal sign, then we'll do list bracket tuple 1. So then this will turn tuple 1 into a list. And then with that, we'll do x dot, you can once again use the methods we did on lists. So we can do append. Let's add in an Nissan, and then we have to turn this back into a tuple again. So we will do tuple 1 is equal to tuple x. So it's another typecasting. So we turned the previous value and once again into a tuple. So then once we print that, print tuple 1. I don't know, we add Nissan. Once again, I can show you before that as well. Print tuple 1. There. It's a weird way around it, but it works. Okay, so then there's another one where you could add tuples together. You can join them together. So we can do, say, tuple 2 is equal to, let's add in some random thing. Let's say um coupe or a sedan and a SUV. Let's add a convertible. Convertible. So if we were to join these guys together, we have to once again create another tuple or another variable so they can join together, which can be whatever name you want. I just go with tuple 3, then equal sign, then you do tuple 1 plus tuple 2. So then when we print out tuple 3, it'll join them all together. Look at that. Audi, BMW, Honda, Toyota, and it's the coupe, sedan, SUV, and convertible. And one little thing here, if you're trying to create a tuple, so just remove this thing. So let's say if you're creating a tuple, so make sure you must add a comma. So it's the car. You must add a comma. That's how it knows that this thing is a tuple. Or else if you just add in x is or it's not a tuple. So let's do change this into y. So print type x, and if you do print type y, let's show us that this is a string, but this is a tuple because it contained a comma. And lastly, let's move on to dictionaries. So, so with dictionaries, um, they're also ordered. Order them any way you want. They are mutable, or in other words, changeable, but they cannot have duplicate values. So with dictionaries, they have a key value pair. So for every key, there must be a value in it, and I'll show you what that means. So let's create a variable for a dictionary. And to create a dictionary, you must use curly brackets, and you may use either single quotation or double quotation. And I'll stick with the double quotation again. So what I meant by with key value pairs is that, so let's have a key of the room number. So you can either use quotations or no quotations, but I think I'll leave it as no quotations to leave it as an integer, and then make sure you have a comma. So with here, this is our key, and this is our value. So for every key there is, you could have like multiple. So I'll show you like more other ones. So like, um does it have basement? You can add multiple things in here. You can add in a key that has a integer, a key that has a boolean, or a key that has another word. So with here I'll add in a boolean here, so of false. And then I can also add in floors. Make sure you have the colon there, and then add in, let's say, I'll use a string for this one. So let's say 2 floors. And that's simply how you create a dictionary. With dictionaries, if you want to like change or add something new, we will do house, then dot update bracket, then add a curly bracket inside it, then create a new key. So I'll put in the year. So the year was created. So let's add in like 1990. So then if we're to print it now, print house, it'll show us that the data that was stored inside this dictionary. So there's the room number 4 is their basement, false. How many floors there are? 2 floors, and the year was created 1990. And I can show you it before I have added in the house.update right there. Same thing for if you want to delete something, it's the same method for list. So if we did house.pop, then we put in, let's say, floors, then we print this. Now it wouldn't have the um, floor key, and since there's no floor key, it'll also remove in the value with it. And if you want to be more specific, less specific, and just remove in the last item, so which is still this thing. So let's add in like the year instead here. So year, colon, and then add in 1990. And if we just did house.pop house.pop item, then you print it, it'll remove the last, it'll only remove the last key value pair inside the dictionary. And that's it for learning list, tuples, and dictionaries.